Ted Russell Nissan, home of the lifetime warranty on Kingston Pike.
Praise the Lord, brothers and sisters. Today is Thursday, and we are so thankful that we can bring you encouragement today. Come on, you know the drill. Let's exalt his name together. In the name of Jesus, Father God, we come to you because you are our source. You are a waymaker, a deliverer, our joy and strength, our peace in the midst of the storm. Lord, you are our hope, Lord, in a very dark world. You are our hope, oh Lord God. When this world is dark, Lord, you are light that shines in our lives. Lord, to help us, help others see that you are the way, the truth, and the life. Lord, so we want to thank you this morning and invite you into this day. For this is the day that you've made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. You know, I want to talk about and encourage you just a little bit about how to become a hope dealer. See, there are so many examples of hope dealers in the world. You know, we talked about Joseph earlier this week in Genesis 50 and 20, where he told his brothers they meant evil against him, but God meant it for good. So we need to understand that there are so many hope dealers in the Bible. So many, and we can take from what they have been through. Because see, what the enemy meant to destroy us, God uses to develop us. Our prison can become our preparation. Our pain can become our platform. God turns our setback into a setup for someone else's survival. You see, God can transform suffering into purpose. Look at Moses. Moses had hope for the oppressed. Moses stood before Pharaoh and declared freedom for God's people. In Exodus 14 and 13, God told the people, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. When life traps you between the Red Sea and your enemies, don't panic. God specializes in making roads where there are no roads. God delivers people who trust him. And as you know, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 says, trust in the Lord with all thy heart. Lean not upon thy own understanding. Acknowledge him in all your ways. Acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. God delivers people who trust him. Even when you feel trapped by fear, addiction, depression, or failure, God can open impossible doors. David hoped in weakness. David faced giants, rejection, betrayal, and failure, yet he trusted God. Psalms 27 and 1. David said, the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? My giant may be big, but my God is bigger. Fear cannot rule the heart that is anchored in God. Faith in God defeats giants, my brothers and sisters. An application that you can use for your life. The giants in your life may be addiction, fear, loneliness, sickness, or negative thinking. But God gives victory over it all. So remember, there's a way out of your mess, and it's JESUS.
Where can you buy a brand new Nissan with a lifetime warranty? Kingston Pike. Hey folks, Gerald Anderson with Ted Russell Nissan. You heard it right. Every new Ted Russell Nissan comes with a lifetime warranty, and that's a long, long time. Ted Russell Nissan on Kingston Pike.
Good morning and welcome to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Ask Your Neighbor can also be heard and seen on our website, WYSHradio.com. And if you are in Anderson, Rome, or Morgan County and have Comcast cable, you can watch Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV Channel 12. Ask Your Neighbor is the program where you call in and do just that. Ask Your Neighbor. Do you have a comment? Do you have a problem? Or do you have a question? Then call in and ask your neighbor. 865-457-1380 or toll free at 877-711-4005. And for those of you that might be listening or watching on the internet, you can email from our website, WYSHradio.com. Just click on the Contact Us button and email your questions. Now sit back and listen as listeners throughout East Tennessee and the entire world answer your questions on Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV 12 and AM 1380 WYSH.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome into the Thursday morning edition of Ask Your Neighbor. As usual, it's David West, stars and stories of the Kaz Walker Show. Got a fun show for you lined up here today. Sammy's here, Howard's here, David's here, and Lori Tucker's here. We're going to be talking with her in just a moment. Morning, boys. How are you?
Good morning. This is a big one here. I worked for Von Little Buster for several years, 8 years, to be fact on TV and all.
Yes, sir.
And when Hump Hammer come out, he said, we got a barn burner today.
So that's what we have, huh? A barn burner.
We got Howard back on the job today.
Yeah.
Got your roof on? Everything good?
Oh, yeah.
You telling me they took the shingles off? Came a rainstorm.
Monsoon season come in.
Just your luck, isn't it?
But, it's Lord looked at me, took care of me pretty good.
Yes, sir. Well, good.
I let my bill forward. I can live with it.
Those roofs aren't cheap, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, we're glad to see you right here. As Mr. Walker said, we're here and we want you to be at there.
Yes, sir. We want you guys to tune in and listen.
He had a lot of good sayings that when he come on TV and a lot of good things he'd show. And a lot of people said, boy, I liked it when he took them big cards he read and he just threw them out in the middle of the floor, as he got through. And we did a Kaz Walker show with John Hitch, and he took him cards, threw them over, just like, he dressed like him, looked a lot like him.
He did look a lot like him.
Yeah, he done a lot of good stuff. But Mr. Walker he was one more person to work with. They said, I've had a lot of people say, see, I drove for him and was in business with him, and they'd say, what's it like working for him? And I said, I'm going to college, so.
It was an education,
I learned a lot of stuff from him, history, and he, down deep, he was such a good guy. He liked to go to church, and he was just a fellow that, he told you what he thought.
You knew what he thought. He didn't have a thought without saying it, did he?
And he really believed in what he said,
Yeah.
He believed in everything he said and what he done, and he believed in a product. If he couldn't, I remember one day he was sitting in one of his fender ledges, and this guy come in, had these back scratcher things, it was nice.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, Mr. Walkers, would you sell some of these in your store? Mr. Walker looked at him, looked at me, and said, David, do you think I could sell them? I said, well, Mr. Walker, you can sell anything. He said, but you think these go? And I said, I believe they would. He said, well, give me 2 or 3 grosses of them, That boy said, I ain't got but 12. Mr. Walker said, well, didn't use me getting up doing no advertising for 12. He said, if you get a pile, he's serious. If you get a pile of them made, call me. Oh, boy, had 12 is what they're selling on TV. And I'll tell you that thing, some of you may remember, is when he had kazoos. You remember that?
I do.
If kazoos come out, you sell them. Back in, it's quarter apiece.
Well, I remember when you had them. I don't know that I remember when Mr. Walker had them. We had them $1 a holler there at the store.
They went up when I got them. But he was selling a quarter piece. He had some guy on there that represented him. Boy, he could play, he picked with the bands with it. And boy, Mr. Walker was wild with him. I had to have one too. I was a young boy then. I had to call somebody to pick me up one of them Kaz Walker kazoos. That's how I won my first academy.
Is that it? That's how you learn music, right? On the kazoo.
Mr. Walker would say words backwards as if you're listening to all of them, Well, he'd say things that
Get your attention.
Yeah, but he was smart. No, he went to college. He wasn't dumb. He was.
Oh, Mr. Walker was brilliant.
He kind of stayed over to the left a little bit where you can't find out what he had. He didn't want you to know how he thought. Or how he's going to talk, you know. He said he had a lot of things going for him. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to get her to step out, and you want to take a break?
Yeah, we'll take a break, and we'll get Sammy and Lori in here next. This is Ask Your Neighbor on WYSH. Hang on, guys.
As a homeowner, I'm always looking for peace of mind, especially when I have a costly, unplanned expense, like a cooling system repair or replacement. That's when I turn to the eScore Quality Contractor Network. They're the pros who've been specially trained and approved by TVA and your local power company. The quality contractors are licensed and insured, so you can be assured the job will be done right and inspected for free. Contact your local power company or visit energyright.com to learn more.
Don't be fooled by insurance companies telling you where you have to get your prescriptions filled. Anderson Crossing Pharmacy in Andersonville can fill your prescriptions, and they'll do it in about 10 minutes. And make sure you ask Anderson Crossing Pharmacy about their loyalty card. You can save 10% on over-the-counter items. Anderson Crossing Pharmacy is at 3318 Andersonville Highway. Call them at 865-494-8444, 494-8444. Family owned and serving our area since 1995. Anderson Crossing Pharmacy. Caring for you and about you.
If you're looking for a state-of-the-art laundromat with brand new washers and dryers and folks dedicated to making sure you are satisfied, Rocky Top Laundromat is your answer for clean clothes and happy smiles. They clean their machines daily, making sure you aren't taking home somebody else's left-behind mess. Rocky Top Laundromat has big machines big enough to handle your biggest comforter. You can relax and watch TV while your clothes are being washed, and you can take comfort in knowing that they have 24-hour surveillance monitoring for your safety. Rocky Top Laundromat, 305 Main Street in Rocky Top, open from 9 to 9 daily.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Madison Insurance Group at 865-425-7300, 425-7300, or see them at miginsgroup.com. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to WYSH. Ask Your Neighbor. David West, stars and stories of the Kaz Walker Show. You know, Sammy's been bringing folks in here for a while. Now he's starting to bring really classy people. We're moving up now, yeah. Lori Tucker's joining us today. Hi, Lori. How are you, man?
I'm wonderful. How are you? It's so nice to finally meet you.
Likewise. I mean,
yes.
I've watched you for a little while.
Thank you.
And been around these parts all my life.
That's a gentlemanly way to say, because I've been here 33 years.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Now, he and I go.
You don't look 33 years old.
Oh my goodness.
We go
How
way
long
back.
do I get to stay here?
We go way back. I used to watch her when I was a little boy.
Yeah, okay. Stop it, Sam.
I love it when people say that. Don't you love it when people say,
I'd sit on my
watched you
daddy's
when I
lap,
was a
watch
child."
Lori.
I brush your says this out. And I said,
Yeah.
Harold, you 90?
I get people come in here and they're like, I've been listening to you since I was just a little bitty boy. And I just think, man, how long have I been doing this?
And it's a compliment.
It is a compliment.
And I've learned to embrace every
Yes, ma'am.
age. So, for those of you who have grown up watching me, I thank you.
Now, are you originally from here? Now, Sam, I'm not going to steal your thunder, pal.
I want you to ask her. I've got some stuff I'll ask her.
Are you,
boy.
you originally from Knoxville, East Tennessee,
No,
or
I
did
am
you come
not.
here for TV?
I came here for TV. I am from Arkansas, Little Rock, Arkansas,
Okay.
originally. But my father was a wonderful architect, and he worked for the military. So I was a quasi-military brat.
Yeah.
And we moved all over the country. So I did a lot of growing up in the Los Angeles area, Albuquerque, New Mexico,
Oh, wow.
Morgan City, Louisiana. We stayed there
Didn't
for
like
3
that?
months. My mother said, we're out of here. I don't want lizards in my shoes. What is happening? Memphis, Tennessee, you name it.
Wow.
And then Texas. Spent a lot of time in Texas. And I thought you might be from Texas because you are wearing the Texas uniform.
This is, you know
It's
what?
wonderful.
Somebody said that it's been a while. They said, "Wow, you dress like a cowboy." And I said, "You know what? Not necessarily. You get dressed like Campbell County hillbilly."
No, it's called Cowboy Cool.
Well, okay. Well, I'll take it. I'll take
Yes.
it.
But I started Little Rock, got my start in TV there at KATV, a powerhouse television station, and then went on to San Antonio, Texas for 8 years, and I began anchoring there, and then was promoted to a weeknight anchor position in Houston. And we thought Houston would be great. Top 10 market.
That's a big deal.
That was great. We had 2 little girls, and I never got to see them.
Oh.
And my husband did sports for the NBC station, and so he was gone every weekend. So we didn't see each other. Something wasn't clicking.
Yeah.
And we prayed about it, and I'm not kidding. 2 weeks later, after one of those get down on your knees, God, what do you want me to do? WATE called.
Isn't that
out
cool?
of the blue. And Steve went to UT.
Oh, really?
But we met in San Antonio. It's just so weird how
it all
the
connected.
circles connected.
And so for 33 years, you've been up there on the hill.
Yes.
And what about when there's weather?
Oh,
Well, now,
when
she's at
there's
Channel
weather.
6.
I am, yeah.
The Channel 6, W26 was the one up on the hill.
The 26
Sharps.
was on the hill.
I thought-
When you say hill, I think of Greystone Mansion.
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking of. But
Yes.
is there not?
It's a slight incline, so
Well,
we'll
then-
call it a
no,
hill.
I'm thinking more. I'm
You're thinking Sharps Ridge.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think.
thinking more up on the ridge than I guess.
And Steve interned there, actually.
Really?
26, yeah, back in college. But yeah, when I came here to interview, I looked at this mansion. I mean, most TV
Grayson.
stations look really industrial.
Yeah, they're in a business complex usually. or
Oh,
something.
the one in Houston was right off the railroad tracks. When it rained and we couldn't, there was flooding there all the time. We had to walk down the railroad tracks to get to work. It was crazy. But park our cars on a hill and
Today,
go in.
you just got stopped by one.
I got stopped by a train on the way up here.
Down
but it's
there on
okay.
Weaver
I got
Street.
to know my neighbors in their cars. It was great. So anyway, it's been a blessing to work there in such a beautiful building that's like a home. And I think that's why so many people stay there for so long.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
You said talk about Martha Dooley's husband. We had Martha out here a couple of years ago.
Yeah, we
Was
did.
the public information officer in Knox County for a
She's
long
my
time.
dearest friend.
Yeah, and so Bob, her husband, is the one. Tell that story about how Bob is the one that got you here.
Well, you know,
He
when
was
this
a great guy.
he was so funny, and that laugh.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that laugh. And Martha was crazy about him. He was crazy about her. They had such a wonderful marriage. But I had to, you know, in television, just in radio, you send in your reel, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I had to send in some of my work when they had called to say, hey, one of our anchors used to work across the street from you in San Antonio, Rick Benjamin, if you remember him.
Yeah.
We were competitors in San Antonio. So it's funny how someone may think you do a decent job and want to work with you down the road.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool. So anyway, I sent my tape in, and Martha was the assignments manager and then getting ready to be assistant news director at that time. So she had some pull on who was hired. And she took my tape home to Bob, and because back then it was VHS that I sent. And Bob looked at it. Stop laughing, Sammy. Bob looked at it, and along with some other people who had applied for the position, and he said, I like her. I like Lori. And that kind of sealed the deal.
Now, over the years that you've been there, I know there's had to be a number of different things that stand out. People either you've interviewed or stories you've had to do, both good and bad. What stands out? The things you remember the most?
Oh, boy. You know, I love people's stories. You know, certainly this area, to be a relatively small town, which it's not anymore.
Oh,
You know,
it's growing.
Knoxville and then all the areas around it have grown so much. But, you know, there's been a lot of news here, and a lot of it, you know, crimes that make national news. And we've certainly covered all of those cases that we take home with us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Getting to know the families of these people and talking to, you know, just parents of
Yeah.
kids.
Oh, yeah.
And I've stayed friends with so many of them. One that stands out to me, and there are several, but I've gotten to know Zenobia Dobson really well, and she was Xavion Dobson's mother.
Yeah.
Xavion, it's 10 years, or 11 years
Really?
now, since he was shot in a drive-by shooting. If you all remember, he was a football player, great kid. Zenobia is an excellent mother, and he was a hero. He dove over two girls to friends on the porch to save their lives. So we traveled with Zenobia. Really got to know her when we traveled to with Zenobia to Los Angeles when she accepted the ESPY Award, the Arthur Ashe Courage Award for her son and her grace and her dignity. We text. I just heard from her the other day, have a blessed day.
That's awesome.
I love people like that. So that's another one. There's another one, though, Derek Anderson. Have you heard the name Derek Lee Anderson?
That's familiar, but...
He's in La Follette.
Okay.
He's at the radio station there.
WLAF?
Yes.
Okay.
Jim Freeman owns.
Yeah, oh yeah. I know Jim well.
I saw Jim at a Campbell County event that I was doing there at the Bell Farm Center over there.
Okay.
And he came up and how you doing? Because I knew him from doing weather over Channel 8 for a while.
Yes.
It's kind of close circles, closer than people think. And a young man walked up to me and he said, "Hi, my name is Derek Lee Anderson and I work for Jim and I have golden pipes." And I said, "Well, good for you, Derek. That's awesome." I knew that it was clear that he was on the autism spectrum.
Sure.
And I wanted to know more. I thought, okay, how did you get your job? You know, he said, "Well, talk to my boss. He'll tell you the whole story." So I said, "Jim, what's going on?" He said, "You won't believe it." He said, "This kid," and he's a big guy, young man. I think he's in his late 30s now, but he said he won't look at you when he's talking to you, you know, on the spectrum.
Sure.
His communication skills are pretty good, but not where they need to be a performer on the radio.
Gotcha.
But you sit him down in front of a microphone and it's like the heavens opened up and God said, "All right, let it rip." Wow. He loves gospel music. He shares the word in his own way. And it's smooth as silk. You got to listen to him.
I can't believe I did.
It's amazing. He went from, and bless Jim Freeman, who gave him a shot.
Sure.
And said, "You know what? Why don't you come in a day a week?" Well, he got so good and developed such a following. He's on every morning.
I don't know how I didn't know
Derek
that. I'm
Lee
real good friends with Jim. And I started at WLAF in 1979. Wow. That's where I'm from, La Follette.
Oh, my goodness.
So that's where I started back a long time ago,
Beautiful
79.
area up there. But that's another story I love. Gosh, there are so many. I mean, if you want to go all the way back to San Antonio, Little Rock, you know, when I started in Little Rock, they threw me into politics. And Bill Clinton was governor at the time.
Oh, wow.
And I met Hillary. This is how old I am. I met Chelsea when she was a baby. That's how long ago this was. This is the early 80s. So, but I got a good dose of, you know, politicians and how to cover news and how to be, you know, straight down the middle. And nobody will ever know how I vote. Nobody will ever know in our newsroom how I feel about different things, and that's very important to me.
Well, that's it keeps the integrity, you know what I mean, and especially with your viewers,
yes.
You don't want to skew either way. You just want to tell them and let it suss out as it does. Let them make their own. Yeah, absolutely.
Walter Cronkite, would you not agree? He's probably the best at that.
I grew up watching him, and that's one reason I went into this business. I am that old, yes, Sammy.
You don't keep on getting trouble, Sammy.
I thought you was going to tell me it's Sam Brown.
We weren't friends. Well, I liked Sam a lot. I didn't know him well, but I certainly met him a few times, and he was always really sweet. But yeah, my dad and I would sit down and watch the news every night.
So what's the difference between a news reporter and a news anchor?
News reporter goes out in the field and gets the stories. But news anchor is behind the desk. However, I like to go out and get stories.
I started to say, because you do some news reporting as well.
I don't want to just sit there and read.
Sure.
I would be bored out of my skull. So, you know, you guys know that. You're not bored. You're still doing this, which is wonderful.
I'm bored.
That's why you're here, right?
Boring.
This is my favorite day of the week. I like this better than church.
Hilarious. He wants me to go to his Sunday school class, and I still need to stop in, and I bet you're wonderful at it.
Oh, we'll see. I can't keep a steady job.
Oh, my goodness. But you were asking about stories. He's helping me with my retirement, but we'll talk more about that later. When I was in San Antonio, I had to cover the Pope coming.
Oh, wow.
And this is way back there. And I'm still a young reporter. And so what they do, and you know this, if a president comes to town, or the Pope, and the Catholic faith is so strong in San Antonio.
Yes.
More than 1 million people, even back then, were expected. And so they put me on a flatbed truck with all the network reporters around me. And people that's how they still do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're up on a platform, a riser, but you have to learn how to think while people next to you are talking.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a big lesson in ad-libbing for 10 minutes while you're waiting for him to arrive.
Did you get to speak with, meet, or were you just covering his arrival?
Just covering, and I was the newbie, so I didn't get to go to the big field that they had transformed for his, talk and his appearance. So I just did we're waiting on him, any moment. I think we got a big flash driving by, and that was it. But at least I got to be there.
Back, it's been a while back, but when President Obama and at that time Vice President Biden came to town, our news director, Jim Harris, got to go. They were here at, I think it was Ison or SL Automotive. I can't remember where they came. They came here to Clinton.
Right.
And then went to Pellissippi to the auditorium and gave a speech. And he got to go. He went to do that. And that was a big thing, especially in a little radio station like this, to get the press credentials to go do that. We didn't go. I didn't get to go, but the news director got to go. So. Pretty cool stuff, though.
Very cool stuff. And, when you think about it, going through life, especially interested in history, and there's so much rich history right here.
Oh, yeah.
But in Houston, I got to interview Jesse Jackson, and I got to interview Henry Kissinger. It was after their careers.
Sure.
But I thought, I am sitting here talking to people who literally helped change the world. And part of it was so meaningful because in terms of Jesse, who passed away not long ago, when we lived in Memphis, we were at boy, I'm dating myself now, so don't do the math. Oh, no, I don't care if you do. I don't care if you do. This was when the garbage riots were going on and all the Martin Luther King.
Oh, yeah.
And we were at the grocery store. We were at Piggly Wiggly. And my mother left a cart, although we called it a buggy back then.
Yeah, yes.
It's a buggy. I know, I catch myself. And the National Guard came out and they said, you need to get in your car and go home. The riots are coming here. And my mother was known for her dramatics anyway. She was really pretty funny. She said, get in the car. Left the buggy there. She pushed me down in the floorboard and we got out of there. But when Martin Luther King was assassinated, I had all these questions. And so I look back and I think, well, of course, this is what I ended up doing for a living.
You were curious as a child.
My sweet dad taught to me about civil rights.
Really?
And we went to the Lorraine Motel after it had happened. And because I think I was pretty incessant. And where did it happen? It happened here where? Where did, how'd the man get away? All the things. And he was patient, and for that time, I think that was really progressive of him to sit down and talk with me about that, and I'm forever grateful.
What is the biggest story? Not necessarily your favorite. But what's the biggest? Have you ever had the opportunity to break news, something that you stumbled across or sussed out that went national or what have you?
Well, in Little Rock, we had the missile explosion, the silo explosion in the 80s, and I'm the one that got the phone call.
Oh, wow.
And they didn't necessarily call me because I'm still new. Like, sure. I think I was just one step out of interning. And they said, hey, they just called the newsroom and I picked up. They said, hey, the Titan. And I went, well, I didn't know what that meant at first.
Wow.
And so I went to my news director, and all of a sudden everything shut down, closed doors. They were off and running. So I didn't get to cover that initial one. I'm trying to think of, gosh, there have been so many. In Texas, we did the baby Jessica story, even though it was, the little girl that fell down the well.
Oh, yeah, no,
that was out of our viewing area, but we still sent reporters to do that. We covered that extensively. I've broken a couple of stories here. I don't know that there's one. You remember J. Wade Gilly?
I do.
Okay. I got the exclusive interview with his mistress.
Okay, well,
I did.
That counts.
I did.
Do tell.
I gave her my cell phone number, and back then, the bill was just incredible. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So we got that done. I had to meet her at an undisclosed location.
Oh, wow.
We talked about the whole thing, and I was glad to have that over with.
Since the days that you started in this till today, man, it's a different world in broadcasting, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I mean, it's if you just rewound and went back with me to 1979, we were working with tape and splice, and and then today everything's digital. It's almost like two different industries. And I notice in Knoxville too, we're seeing a lot of change in television, WBIR and some of the other stations. And do you account some of that change because of the I guess the new technologies or the changes that broadcasting is going through itself?
Whew, there's a lot.
Yeah, that was a lot, wasn't it?
There's a lot that goes into these changes, and I'm just in front of the camera, and I'm one of the employees. I'm not one of the decision makers. But what I can tell you is we're doing more with less.
Yeah.
When you look back at 12 years ago, we had 15, 16 photographers. We have 3 now.
Yeah.
We just hired another one. Yes.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have 4. But we still have to collect and gather news.
Sure.
Now, part of the change is because we have MMJs, multimedia journalists. So now, if you're a reporter, you're going to shoot your stuff too.
Yeah.
And when I go on shoots, I still have a photographer because that's how I was brought up in this business. So I don't know that I would be a decent camera person. However, I do supplement my stories
with your phone,
with my phone, and it takes broadcast quality video. So that is very helpful. So we learn to work around all these things, but I just want to keep journalism alive. And that's the only thing I worry about. I think community journalism is so important.
Yes.
You've got to get to know your community. You've got to spend time in your community, be on boards with things you enjoy, really immerse yourself so you know the people that you're talking to and know what's important to them. And I've certainly tried to do that.
So you're going to retire? Why in the world do you want to retire?
Well, they say, that cliche, when you know, you know.
Yeah.
For the last 2 years, I've been thinking about it. And I have 3 grandchildren.
Oh, that's...
all little girls. Riley is 9. And Blakely is 3, and Presley is 6 months.
Oh, wow.
And they're in town. And both of our daughters and sons-in-law are in town. And I have the itch to spend a lot of time with them, which I do anyway, but even more. I want to take them to school, at least a couple of times a week. Blakely is the middle child. I don't want to give her that label, but she needs one-on-one time.
Yeah, I get it.
Right now with a new baby, and then her sister who's into everything, dance and piano and all that. And Blakely's kind of in the middle. So I want to devote a lot of time to her and the others as well. So, yeah. It's important to me, and we want to travel. We've got a bunch of trips booked already.
Oh, that's great.
Looking forward to that.
Remember what I told you to say when they ask you about retirement? I'm retiring early.
Is that what you say?
I mean,
yeah, you're young. You're too young to retire. But
no, it's time. It is time.
You're like John Ward. It's time.
It's time. And Elaine Strino with Second Harvest Food Bank. She's a good friend of mine as well, and she recently retired. I said, hey.
We're going to have her out here.
Oh, good. You'll love her. She's wonderful if you haven't met her. And she said, she's been there 33 years as well. So we really have parallel lives, and she has grandkids, the whole thing. And she said, at some point you just want to go give it to somebody younger. It's somebody else's turn. I don't want to hang on to this position and not let somebody else step up and have a chance and a crack at it. So I think it's time.
Back when I was a very young man, like I said, I started at WLAF in 79. I was 14, maybe 13 going on 14. And about 18, 19, I decided I had risen above radio and I wanted to go into TV. So I ambled over to WBIR, Jim Swinehart. Did you know Jim?
Oh, yes.
He was running it in 1980, whatever it was.
For a long time.
Yes. And so I went in there and said, I would like to apply for a job. And they said, okay. Back then you could talk to people. And he actually interviewed me, and he said, well, we might be able to do something. He said, we could possibly start you in. Maybe he said camera, string. I don't remember what he said, but whatever it was, I was like, no, you don't understand. See, I want to deliver the news. I want to be the anchor. And he said, Ron, that's not how it works. He said, you have to start here and work your way up. And I said,
correct.
Well, I thought that radio would count for something. He said, well, it counts for something. I'm offering you a job, but you can't start as the anchor. And really and truthfully, I told him, I said, well, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to go to a bigger market in radio or stay here and be in TV. And his decision not to let me be on television sent me, and I went to Phoenix. That's where.
Oh, that's a great market.
I was in Phoenix till I bought WYSH in 90. I came back home in 1990 and bought WYSH. But I was out there from 85, I guess, till 90, 84,
so
85 to 90.
this is kind of the Western thing.
I guess, I if you talk to people I graduated high school with in 82, they'll tell you this is pretty much what
That's
I wore when it's kind of how it was. I've just been jeans and a shirt.
Job at WBR, they had a young fella coming in, Bill Williams.
No, Bill was already there, and then Jim left, and then Jim came back, and that, in fact, we still to this day simulcast WBIR News in the morning, and I put that deal together with him when I came back and bought WYSH. He'd either left and come back, but I put the deal together with him to give us permission to broadcast WBIR. I don't know if other stations did it, but we started doing it, and they would give us a little tag on there. They used to. I don't know if they do anymore or not, but he and I put that deal together 36 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, so long
That's
time.
amazing.
Who was the
That's
anchor when you went
amazing.
to Channel 6?
Rick Benjamin was there. Oh, you mean the woman?
No,
Denise.
No, it was Sam. When did Sam, was he
He
there?
was gone before I got there.
Okay, good. Okay.
So it was Rick Benjamin.
So our mutual friend John England was the one that introduced me to Sam, and I had never seen how the news worked. I would do field trips or something with kids nowadays and let them see how the news is really done. I'm amazed at how they don't even have cameramen anymore at a lot of the studios.
Oh no, we have all robotic cameras.
Oh no, it's crazy. People would come out here and we'd do something for the station, and they'd bring a cameraman, usually a cameraman and a reporter, and then it got to where it's just like Kay Watson used to be, I think, at Channel 10.
Yes.
And the last time she did something with us, it was just her, and she set up a camera, and you know what I mean? It's just, I was like, wow, you do all this yourself now?
I admire that. I really do.
It's
really
crazy.
do. And I find I'm very maternal towards, we send a young woman out, especially to a scene in the middle of nowhere, and you don't know what you're going to find, and every now and then we'll send someone with her.
Sure.
Just to be safe.
Did you ever work with Margie Eisen?
I did.
Did you?
When she came back.
Yeah, I remember because she was back and forth from WBR.
Right.
So you got to meet her. That could do her really well.
I loved her like everybody did.
Sure.
And I have a funny story.
Okay.
We were in a Christmas parade, the Knoxville Christmas parade. And I won't name him because it'll embarrass him, but our promotions guy at the time said, I got a coach for you guys to ride in. It's really cool. I'm like, okay, good. And it's a horse-drawn. It's beautiful for Christmas. And Margie said, oh, that'll be great. What are you going to wear? And we decided, and we had a bunch of us piled in when we got there. And it was all enclosed, and there were little bitty windows up here, so nobody knew this. And so Margie and I laughed until we cried. And so we were waving up here.
You just see your hands?
No one knew, and the sign kept falling off the sides. And but to complete this mental picture, the horse had issues. And we were
How did I know that was coming?
Did you ever see Seinfeld?
No.
Kramer's driving.
Yes, it's like that.
Rusty.
Rusty. So Margie and I just couldn't contain ourselves. So that's a great memory of hers, but so gracious, so kind. I never heard her raise her voice to anyone. Just a lovely, lovely woman.
What do you equate your longevity to? Because there's, in our business, broadcasting, there's usually a lot of turnover. And it's hard to stay somewhere for 30 years or 33 years. Is it just your love of here, or is it...
When we got here, I decided, and I loved my childhood, don't get me wrong, but I didn't want to uproot my kids and take them away.
Yeah.
And I wanted them to have friends that they could remember from kindergarten, because I don't remember.
Sure.
You know, I
Absolutely.
can't tell you who. I went to 3 different first grades. You know, so, but it was fine. But I just wanted to get that. And so I'm blessed that this little show decided to keep me around this long. I'm a loyal employee. I work hard. I always wanted to say, you know what? I want to be the hardest worker in the room. And I wanted to set a good example for the younger ones coming up. And so get there early, stay late every now and then, you know, work 110% and then leave it there and go home and be mom.
So now it's changed where you're not just at 6 and 11. You're talking about working hard.
It's full time, all day, every day. Huh?
Yes, I got off the 11 several years ago, and I said, here's what I could do for you. I can go do stories during the day, because I found that I was going on public appearances that required me to be somewhere at noon, which means you start getting ready at 10.
Sure.
And if you work until 11:30, that's a long day.
Absolutely.
And I was doing that all the time. And so I said, let's work that more into my work day. And it's worked out beautifully. But I do the 3 o'clock. I do little live hits for the 4. I do the 5 o'clock solo and the 6.
Yes.
So it's a busy, it flies by.
I bet.
It flies by.
I bet it
We was
does.
talking about it earlier. What did you say? It's been 3 months. A good friend of ours, Matt Hinkin.
March 16th.
Yeah. So Matt Hinkin, East Tennessee. Love Matt Hinkin.
Yeah.
I knew his wife from where she used to work. But tell a little bit about Matt. Matt was a super good guy. Loved Jesus. Now I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah, he
loved
did.
Jesus.
Yes, he did. Matt, if I didn't know him so well, because we became dear friends, if I didn't know him so well, I would not have known what he was struggling with on a day-to-day basis, because I'm the mouth of the South. I'll come in and go, oh, I got the worst headache. Oh, the kids did this. He came in and he never talked about anything going on. And he had more struggles than any human should have to bear. But he didn't lose his faith.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, my hat's off to him. I am so blessed to have seen him 2 weeks before he died.
Mm-hmm.
And he was still in there. You know, for those of you who don't know, he had Parkinson's and dementia that goes along with that. And I got him on a good day.
Oh, that's good.
And I met I knew his brother. His brother was there, Doug, who's a retired physician. So he was able to really help with his care. And his caregiver was there, Kim, and she had some great stories to tell about their exploits around town. So I'm glad he had a really good caregiver, because that's so important. But she said he would get up sometimes and he'd be ready to go do the weather, you know?
Yeah.
And that was just who he was. And so she would let him give her the forecast. And that's good. I'm glad, you know, you go along with it. But he asked me about the girls. You know,
Really?
It's always about somebody else, not him.
Yeah. People face adversity differently. I'm going out kicking and screaming and complaining. I'm not a good patient for you. So if you won't be able to tell that same thing next time you come to this radio station. Boy, Sammy, he was a whiner.
No.
Margie, you had Margie. Y'all got to know Margie real well on
Yeah, I
Caswell.
hauled her kids to school.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
really?
a school bus driver. That's
Oh, my
first job.
goodness.
So,
That's wonderful.
My first big job.
Oh, and you know, you knew Kaz Walker so well. And
Yeah.
I only got to meet him one time when I got here, and I got to meet Mary Starr as well.
Oh yeah.
So, but they were up there,
Yeah, she's
you know.
up there.
Yeah.
So tell the story. You was talking about Martha Dooley earlier.
Yes.
So Bob Dooley, so he helped produce some of the Kaz Walker shows. So tell Lori the story about what happened one day when Kaz came down.
Well, see, we had to go in early in the morning. We started at 5:37. We brought it on. All the lights come on and everything, you know. And they put us under these bulbs with a 3-piece suit, and you can feel water go down your back.
So hot.
Oh,
And Mr.
no.
Walker talked so much. I want some music, but when we walk up there, he'd tell a coon dog story or something we couldn't pick. And Bob Dooley just loved us. And he'd come down every morning to stand right in the corner there. You know, where Mr. Walker right here. And Bob was standing there looking at it. It went on for about a couple of weeks. And finally, Mr. Walker got up and said, Betty, can we help you with anything? He thought he was somebody come. He thought he came to
Just watch.
we're wanting something, you know. He said, well, you wanting them? He said, no, I work here. He said, you work here? Just what is it? Do you do?
I just produced a little show.
Yeah.
I think he thought he was a janitor or something.
Oh, no.
You've got a young reporter that you sent out, and I appreciate you so much. I really do,
Oh.
because you've come out and done some stuff and let me be on several times. But Jack
Ziskin. Is that not the best TV name?
It is.
Jack Ziskin.
It is.
So he's new at WAT, or
Yes.
He's not even been there a year, has he?
Oh, no. He's been there just a few months. He's from New York.
Oh, wow.
I've
Yes.
got him on a story
He
right
went
now.
to Syracuse and Miami.
Oh, wow.
He's a smart young man.
So he comes out. Lori comes out to do them. She'll come to our offices, and she has a cameraman and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Poor Jack, he came in there bringing a duffel bag and having a camera and all this stuff. But I've got him on a good story right now. I can't say anything about his top secret.
Okay.
But it's
Okay.
big. One word for it's big. It's gonna be
Big stuff. He just went into the Barney Fife mode
No,
there for
yeah.
a second.
I'm retiring. You know, man, David's retiring this year too. I'm retiring from Barney. And he's
Are you?
retiring from, yeah, I'm done.
You haven't told me
I'm
that.
bald. I'm bald, fat, and I look like Barney's papa. So not about me. So your retirement, your last broadcast, when is it coming up?
October 16th.
That's my daddy's birthday.
Is it?
So can I tell a story about your daddy?
Yes.
So Mr. Davis, she's referred to him several times here. So Mr. Davis, so a few years ago, Lori asked me to pray for her daddy.
Mm-hmm.
So I have him on my prayer list. That's a funny story. We'll make it fun. But it was
It's
her
okay.
daddy was going through some stuff, and so
Yeah.
I had him on my prayer list, real
Thank you.
consistent. So back in 21, Lori came out here, and Ava Barber she was in music that day, wasn't it? When you came to do the Ritz Theater out here in Clinton for me.
Yes.
So Ava
Yes.
Barber.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so you started telling me about Mr. Davis.
Yeah.
He liked Ava. And,
I remember
but anyway, so
He
I've
did.
had him on my list, and I hadn't talked to Lori in a while, so I check in usually on my people that ask me to pray for people. And so I said, hey, Lori, I just want to check and see how Mr. Davis is doing. She goes, I meant to tell you he passed away. And I said, well, I've been praying for him for like 6 months. I guess, Lord, every time I say something to him, he's going, he's already here.
He's already here. Hey, no doubt. I know where he is. Right there with my mother. Thank you for that.
Mr.
You know,
Davis, he was prayed for, and he didn't even need it.
he didn't even need it. I should have told you. That was, you know, it's hard when you go through that with your parents, and they lived in the Memphis area, so you know my car can automatically just get there, just straight down I-40. We did that trip a lot. Thankfully, my sister's a nurse, and she was very helpful with that. But you know, it's tough, and I gotta say, the East Tennessee community embraced my dad. He was here for so many things. We tried to get him to move here, and he wouldn't do it. He'd get right there and then go, oh, no. You know, I got to take flowers to your mom at the cemetery. I can't be too far away. But Eddie Manis with Honor Air, which just had its final flight, which I'm so grateful to have gone on.
Oh, you got to go on it?
I did with John Becker.
Yeah.
We went. And it was just amazing. But I've been on several of the flights. Eddie's been very good to me. And one year he called, and it was the year my mother passed away in 2012. And he said, hey, I've been thinking about you. Do you want your dad to go on the flight? Because I know he's a Korean War veteran. And I went, yes, thank you. I said, but he's not from here. Is he disqualified? He said, no, he's here enough that he qualifies to be from East Tennessee.
He's an honorable resident.
And yes, and he cried when he saw the Korean War memorial. I mean, it's so larger than life, and it was foggy that day, and it was just incredible. So I will always be grateful, because I think that really helped my dad.
That was such an amazing service that they provided.
Incredible.
How many years? 30? How many years have they?
That was the 20th flight, but 30.
I mean, a long time.
Yeah, maybe not 30, 25. I should know, but that was the 20th flight, and it's because it was primarily, as we know, for World War II veterans who didn't have a chance to go see those memorials, and then it went to Korea and then Vietnam, and they served the last Vietnam veterans who were on the list who wanted to go. So
Eddie's talked about bringing it back if the need's there. The problem is we don't have a lot of those World War II veterans, Korean War veterans left.
No.
And so that's the issue.
Right,
But
right. And
the sponsors have been great. I think, people like you and stuff like that helping to make it known. I mean, that's a big part of it.
Just watching, and the homecoming. There's a funny story there. When they arrived back at McGee Tyson, it's a whirlwind day, and have you been on a flight?
I've not.
Okay.
He asked me about it a few years ago, and I was going to go as just a chaperone.
Right. It's amazing, and so we get off the plane, and I mean there are so many people with signs, and so they're singing, and all these different balloons, and it's a homecoming, especially for Vietnam. It's a baby you get when you never serve, and so your emotions are already right here after hearing those stories on camera. Oh, just amazing. So John Dunker and I said, can we? Because in years past, I back up, in years past, I didn't know any better, and I walked out everybody else. People were thanking me for my service. And I said, no, I'm just a reporter. So I said, is there any way we can go another way so we're not getting all these accolades that we don't deserve? And so we went the back way.
You were doing that
would have been all about it.
You're welcome.
I felt ridiculous. Now, walking with my dad, tears were streaming.
I bet.
But so we walked around the other way, and I was able to really just see the enormity of it. And this area loves our veterans, and I'm so glad.
Since you said that, let me tell you, Scott Sahumsky, we do this, and John, he's going to be here next week, so it won't be nearly as good.
Oh no, John's a great guy, such a gentleman. We really got to know each other on that.
Have you been down to the East Tennessee Veterans? It's down there by the Foundry. Have you?
Yes.
So it's through corporate sponsors. We do a thing called East Tennessee Veterans Association, EDMAC is the name of it. So we do it twice a year, but in June we do that. And John always MCs that one and the one in the fall, which we do down at the airport. But if folks are a veteran or have a daddy or somebody that served, they need to go down and look at this. It's a miniature of what's in Washington.
Yeah.
But it's the Medal of Honor winners from East Tennessee. It's the stories. And people like you and John have helped to promote that kind of stuff. I'm a patriotic.
I am too.
It gets to me.
Yeah.
But if they're not aware of that, they need to know that.
I wasn't aware of that. How did I not know?
It's downtown by the Foundry. You go down there and you'll see it's a miniature. I don't want to say it's a miniature size.
It's big, but it is
scaled down.
Scaled down. But it's really touching.
Yeah,
you'll go and immediately
Yeah.
If there's any veterans listening, you need to watch them. Go to that. Go there and check that out.
Yeah.
There's names on walls over there as well.
Wow.
So you need to see that.
I did not know that. I stay holed up here in Clinton too much, I guess. Because I didn't realize that.
It's a need. You need to go see that.
Yeah.
So the stories, he was talking about your favorite stories. Bloopers. I like bloopers.
Oh, no.
So I asked Alan Williams this. I think we had him out here 2 or 3 years ago, and Alan's a great guy. But Alan tells the story about, and his makes national news of when he's just looking up the camera like this because of what's going on.
Deer in the headlights.
So what's your favorite blooper, something that's happened while you're there?
Well, Jimmy Kimmel did for a while that unnecessary censored moments on television.
Okay.
So he would have people all over the country watching local news or whatever, and they'd pull little things and censor them even though they didn't need to be. So you'd get bleeped.
Yeah, so
you
wasn't being bleeped.
So I ended up on there saying...
You said he owns
lots
the
of,
station.
well, I'm not, I mean, I didn't say anything wrong.
Yeah.
I just said, he bleeped it and it sounded terrible. But I said, lots of kids and adults went out to enjoy the animals. They bleeped his choice.
Oh my God!
Mortified.
I bet.
I was mortified.
That's why you wasn't at church the next day.
Now, did you know they were going to do? Did they alert? So they just pulled it randomly?
Yeah, and so
You found out when it aired.
Starts going nuts at work saying, "Hey, you were on Jimmy Kimmel last night." What? So it was that. Working with Gene Patterson.
I was going to ask about Gene.
We worked together for 12 years.
Yeah.
And I love him to pieces. That man taught me how to keep it together because he made me laugh more than anybody else that I've ever worked with. He would flub a word, sometimes intentionally. Sorry, Gene, if you're watching. There would be a word, and I can't say it here, that came out wrong.
Yeah.
And, okay, there's one. Jesus Pineda was somebody who was arrested.
Okay.
Well, he called him Jesus Pinata.
Jesus Pineda is Jesus Pinata.
Yes.
I like that.
And so, of course, my story next is on this awful murder. So I'm sitting there clutching the desk. You know how when you can't laugh and you are dying to laugh. I looked like a different human being. I mean, I didn't even look like myself. Just trying to get
clenching
out
your
the
cheeks
words.
together.
Oh, it was terrible.
What was the guy on WKRP? Les Nessman?
Yes.
Chichi Rodriguez. Cha-Cha Rodriguez. Something like that. So,
was it Russell that was here talking about intentionally?
Yeah, now Russell Bevan, he's another one.
He's a nut.
Well, I don't call him anymore. He don't ever show up.
No.
Russell was telling. So, hey, Bob, he did some remotes with us. Bob, you know who I'm talking about? The Rabbit deal. Do you remember that? Was that WAT or was that a different station?
Rabbit?
Bob, he just passed away. I just went blank. Bob was on one of the radio stations, but he's on the news.
I'm going to look it up.
Bob, but there was rabbits, and they just kept. They started. They started doing what rabbits do.
Okay.
And they're on the
live on the.
It may have been with Russell, but it was Bob. Bob Kirby. Was it Bob?
Bob Kirby was
Bob Kirby. Bob. Bob Becker. Bob Becker.
Bob Becker.
You remember Bob?
Of course I remember
so
Bob Becker.
Bob came out to me and did some remotes with me doing Barney. And Bob was a bad diabetic. Did you know that?
Yes.
So he had a sinking spell one day at Barney. He made it over to me and he kind of leaned over and said, "You have a candy bar?" And I go, "No, I got a bullet, but I ain't got no candy bar." And bless his heart. But Bob was a neat guy. But his bloopers made America's Funniest Home Videos or some kind of blooper. There's these rabbits, and they've got them sitting on the desk. I can't remember if he's at 6 or 10 at the time.
He was at 6 for most of his career.
You get a chance, pull up this video. It's
Why
hilarious.
do I not remember that?
Oh, but these rabbits are going at it. And Bob, and they kept it on. They kept the camera. It was great, and I can't remember the comments on it, but it made national television. It was really, really good. So the best things are don't intentionally try to get on national television.
Exactly.
Yeah. But just let it go.
It's funny when you're not expecting it. I made America's Funniest Videos way back in the day when it was brand new. It was in Texas, and I was going to go do a story on an emu farm. And the guy who owned the farm said, now, when I got there, he said, now I got to helicopter you over because we got to go over this little river to get to my farm. I'm like, okay. So we get over there, go over. And this is in the late 80s. So gold jewelry, the whole 9 yards. Nobody told me, big hair, nobody told me that emus like bright jewelry. So I wanted to do a stand-up with an emu. I wanted to stand there by an emu. And I said, do you have one that behaves? He goes, yeah, this one should be fine. That thing pecked me on the head so hard because I think he was going after my earrings. And that made it. That made America.
That sounds like us and our goat. Me and David did a commercial years ago when Barney was trying to sell cars at a car lot down here in Oak Ridge. We was doing a TV commercial, and David let me borrow one of his goats, and the whole thing, it wore my hind end out. He kept hitting me. We couldn't even use the goat part.
And he stunk so bad.
Oh, he stunk awful.
Goats smell.
Them salesman was grabbing hold at him like he was riding everything. And the time the commercial, so he said, we got to go take a shower.
Well, if ever we have a bad newscaster, like, well, that was a goat rope.
Let me tell you one of Mr. Walker. Well, I guess you'd call it that, but it was normal for him. So he's advertising this bug spray. Thrasher's Roachmaster. And while he was up there doing it, about that time a big spider came across the floor. He said, get the camera here, y'all come here right quick. And all of us right over, and he sprayed in that spider, and he started getting into a puddle. He couldn't swim out. He swam in it.
Yeah.
He kept doing like that. He thought he was
trying to drown him.
He thought he was going to kill him, you know. And then happened to think about this is $60 a minute this time. And he just hauled off and stomped it.
Oh.
Look here, all over our pants.
Oh, no.
This is Treasurer's Roachmaster ready for the work.
Pick one, boys.
Oh, my
Head
goodness.
all over our clothes.
What was it about Kaz Walker? I mean, other than clearly he had a great personality and was just totally himself, which I think is so important if you're on the air, you just be yourself because people can see through that fake stuff.
He just.
What made him so special?
Well,
I mean, was
because he was what he was and he spoke and felt.
Yeah.
And you knew him. Just like a fellow walked up one time and said, "Did you ever make a mistake, Mr. Walker?" Pardon every brothers, didn't it? He had the answer and it's right. I mean, he told me when I drove for him, he said, "Well, I make a lot of mistakes." He said, worst part's coming to much. Just my daddy told me, I'll tell you this one real quick. I don't butt in, but he said when I started running for city council, I was up to the courthouse and said, we was sitting there and this drunk out in the crowd. And he said, I was talking bad about alcohol. He didn't like alcohol. And so that drunk stood up and said, well, I remember one time in Sevierville, Kaz Walker got caught with a half a pint of whiskey in his pistol pocket. He said it just tore the house down. All that big crowd cheered and cheered. Mr. Walker said, I said, when he got through, they quit cheering. Well, I was here today. He told you the truth. I was 16-year-old, and they caught me with a bottle of whiskey in my pistol pocket. That taught me right then, never fool for stuff. That's the reason I'm so against him. I learned at 16-year-old, he looks like he's about 40, and he still ain't learned his lesson.
Now that is an expert spin, right there.
Absolutely.
And he said they tore the house down, and I won.
I love that.
Yeah. So my wife sent this so you'll know she's listening to you. So straighten up.
Hi, Dawn.
So
What do you mean straighten up?
if you want to look it up on YouTube, it's under Funny Rabbits on the News, but it was on WBR.
Oh, okay, that's why I didn't see it.
2014, but it's Bunnies Get Freaky on live TV. So there you go. If you want to
I will look that up. Bunnies Get Freaky. Okay. Okay.
So to get in the news.
Be careful about Googling that.
Yeah, be careful. Don't put freaky in there. Don't do that.
No telling what's going to pop up if you
Boy,
do
that's
that.
true.
I was going to coach you along, and I wanted to feel real important to coach you along. Don't do that. Hey, so who was your mentor?
Oh boy. You're not going to believe this. It's not anyone in the business. It was my mother.
Well, that's a great mentor.
My mother, and I didn't know this until later in life, but she received a full ride to the University of Arkansas, a journalism scholarship.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Back in 1954. So
When
she was
girls
one-
were not real big in
No.
broadcasting or journalism.
And she was the managing editor of her yearbook at high school, and just a wonderful woman, a wonderful Southern woman who loved the King's English and would rap you and say, no, we don't say that. No, that's not correct, which was so helpful to me. And now I'm the grammar person in the newsroom, and it drives some of my coworkers a little crazy sometimes, but I'm like, we have to get it right. But she didn't get to go. She didn't get to take that scholarship because my grandmother, although I loved her dearly, my mother was the youngest of 5. And my grandmother said, they didn't get one. And so you don't, that wouldn't be fair.
Oh, wow.
I've told that to women's groups, and there's a pin, you could hear a pin drop.
Oh, I
People are like,
bet.
what? So
It was a different time, though.
it was a different time, and I don't think she resented it because she was such a terrific mom. She worked to put my dad through school. He graduated from Oklahoma University, and she worked to do that. But then she was a stay-at-home mom the rest of the time. But she helped really mold me into what helped me be a good journalist, whether she knew it or not.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So, yeah.
It's cool.
It was amazing. But I don't often talk about this because I want people to take me seriously, but I'm old enough now. It's okay. I really fell into television because I was in a pageant, and I was Miss North Little Rock. I won, and then we went on to Miss Arkansas. I didn't do much there, but then I went to Miss Arkansas USA, which was televised.
Gotcha.
And I didn't win that one. I got first runner-up.
Oh, wow.
But our news director at KATV, they carried the pageant and got a call and said, I hear you want to be in journalism. We've got an internship opening.
Was that part of where they interview you for in the pageant that you spoke about journalism and picked as a
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And it didn't hurt that my cousin was a cameraman in the studio. He said, I know her. That's my cousin. I can get you her phone number. I mean, he was my cheerleader. So I fell into that because of that. But my mother coached me on how to do these interviews and how to present myself and things like that. And so she had never been in the pageant
It's
world.
invaluable.
She just knew. Yeah.
What do you...
Tell me not to touch my face.
No. Me.
Why? What are you doing?
The story.
He's told this story before. He's told this story.
I'm an idiot, okay?
Well, the dermatologist shouldn't have given me bright blues, little stitches on my forehead either. You tell the story.
Well, it was at the Tennessee Theater. You were so gracious again to help us for my 11-year run at the Tennessee Theater for our Mighty Musical Mondays. And so we had these celebrity guests come in there. And so Lori's our guest for the month. And we're standing side stage fixing to go out. And I don't know why I did it, but I looked over at her and I saw this blue mark. I thought she had ink on her forehead. And I just went like this. I go... and I started, she goes, no, it's stitches. But I was like, I'm an idiot. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay.
Yeah. So it really bothers
I've
my
told
wife
everybody
more
I
than it
got
does
your
me, Dawn. I'm not
DNA.
touching her face. Hey, the local interviews that you've done, David's good friend, Mary Costa. Have you got the interview?
Yes.
Okay. The story with David and Mary, and I'll tell you my story with Mary, but in a minute, I want David to tell, but how did that go and what was that like?
Well, it was a long time ago. We had not been here very long, and I met her, and I had our daughters with us, and I said, she was Aurora, Sleeping Beauty. And she just was in her magnificent, whenever she goes out, you get the whole beautiful woman. And she signed some of the film strips that she gives to people, and we put those in the girls' rooms, and we still have them, and they're priceless to us, just priceless.
She's
so
still,
talented.
she just turned 90. I'm trying to think, you're 93, I think. But David played bluegrass and stuff, music, but he played big band, and she found out.
She found out that she loved her CDs and stuff. Another thing she liked is you to pull jokes on her. She
Really?
The audience, yes, she loved that. And so she's sitting out there in the middle of the audience, a great big crowd there. And you remember Luke Brandon, guitar player?
Yes.
Real good. He and I was picking. And I said, Luke, there's something kind of bothering me today. And he said, what is it? I said, well, I started out picking on Bonnie and Buster show. I was our 8th year. And everybody said, if you're going to make it, you got to get on the Cass Walker show. For Dolly and Everly Brothers, Osborne Brothers, everybody been on there. And I said, I went over her, but it didn't take hold none. I said, I just don't understand this getting up in fame and all. I said, look back at Mary Costa. Look where she went. I never saw her on Cass Walker's one time. She thought that was great, And she would call me up, and I had a song, Don't Let Them Push America Out the Door. And she said, David, that's the greatest I've ever heard. I said, we've been playing it all morning, me and a bunch of other ladies over for something.
Yeah.
And said, we stand up and salute every time you all do it. And then,
boy, that's awesome.
See, we did it. Me and Luke did a big band. You Light Up My Life and all those kind of songs with horns and everything. She called me up. She said, I've heard you play a lot of shows, but I didn't know you could do big band. She said, that's something the prettiest I've ever heard.
That's
and
talent.
She was on, I meant to bring you one of our books, too. I'll give it to you directly.
I would love that.
Yeah,
I would love that.
They came up here from Nashville. The people she was a paymaster to the Opry. She did Porter Wagner, so many of the stars' books. She heard about me, and she came up here to do one on me. Well, when she got up here, she found out all these people come from East Tennessee. So you talk about a big story. She's got, if you don't care about it, go out there and get a couple of those books and bring them in.
They're only like $10. You got any?
Yes, sir.
I'll spot it for you.
Can I Venmo you?
I was gonna.
Venmo. I live in Mayberry.
Hey, that's as bad as Marshall Landry sent me one, and I was in it. We were playing for Eddie Arnold's 82nd birthday. And
Oh my goodness, Eddie Arnold. I haven't thought about him in
Eddie Arnold.
forever.
And
Loved him.
me and Luke Marshall Landry, and he's one of his big fine offices where they make glass for the stars out, all them big things. And
Yeah.
him, the only people who let back there was him and his wife and his secretary. And of course, the two people that was managing all that big company. And they had all kinds of stuff on for his birthday. Well, his daughter said she put us in a room, and that place is beautiful. It had fireplaces everywhere I saw in every room. And she said, now I want you just walk out and start playing something, and we introduced you. And I walked out and I hit Cripple Creek. But as quick as I did, his wife said, oh boy, a banjo. My grandpa was a banjo picker. I said, I'm in now.
That'd be $20.
I'll pay you in cash there, David.
Anyhow, when we did, in Marshall Landry's book, just him and his wife on the couch. And we're standing up there playing Eddie Arnold songs today. Marshall Landry's singing, "All legs of the world go."
Oh my goodness.
And I said, well, we got nerve, ain't we? Going back, I said, we said, why couldn't we play something else? He liked it. Oh, he loved it. He said, when I get 92, we all come back and do another birthday party for me.
Oh, that's
And
amazing.
so, but that was in his book.
That's
Picture of us
amazing.
there and all that. But he was going to tell you the funny part. When he got him printed, he sent one to me by another musician. He said, get me $10 off this from David. This is a book, Knoxville Merry-Go-Round.
Ciderville and the East Tennessee country music scene.
It's got some
You might want
really
to
good
get him to
stories.
sign it.
I would absolutely.
That's why I threw the pen up
Thank
there. I
you.
thought-
That is so nice. Would you sign up for
No,
me?
I will.
Thank you.
Hey, let me tell you about the signing bill. So Mr. Walker, we had his life history book out,
Yeah.
and they take us to Walmart, and when we get over, they had some soap opera people. Nobody was over there. There's a line almost to the door to see Mr. Walker. And he, he'd been in a nursing home, so I made him a rubber stamper. And when I
Good
did, he was
catch.
just stamping his name, And we didn't have it stamped. And this woman said, no, I won't want it. He yelled right out forever. David, give me one of them books. You ain't done sign. This woman wants me to sign.
Oh my goodness.
You're talking about Mary Costa, so let me tell you what an idiot I am.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah. Well, it ain't about me today. So never mind. Forget it. I'm telling
No, I
you.
want to know.
No. Tell your little story.
Well,
Go
if
ahead.
you don't want to.
I'll do it.
I want to know.
So I had Naomi Beeman. I don't know if you knew the name or not, but down off of, she lived in Sequoia Hills. So Dr. Bill Snyder, which we worked with, and
Yes.
Dr. Bill. In
Loved
fact, I
him.
just ran into Margie last week. She's doing pretty good. She's in
Oh,
her early
good.
90s. But so they wanted me to go to her home and do an event, and beautiful home. And so one of the routines I get people out in the audience to role play with me, some Mayberry characters. So I got a couple of ladies up to role play with me as the fun girls from Mount Pilot. I don't know, you've never seen the Andy Griffith Show, so you probably don't even know that, do you? But anyway, so I've got these two ladies up there, and I'm doing it, and they were great. They were fantastic. And I set them down. My wife Dawn comes over and says, "Did you know that's Mary Costa you got up?" And I go, "What, Mary? Who's Mary Costa?"
Oh, no, you did not.
I did. I didn't know nothing about it. I never saw Sleeping Beauty. And she was so nice, but Dawn got to know her really well. She would bring somebody to the doctor's office that Dawn worked at. And so one day out of the blue, she sends me a envelope, sends it to me and Dawn, a really beautiful, she should be a calligrapher. The way
Yes.
she writes. And so she sent us a really nice print of Sleeping Beauty. And Dawn's, but she sent me a DVD of the Don Knotts Variety Show.
Oh my
And
goodness.
the folks on that were guests on there that day was Bob Newhart, Elaine Joyce, the Dillards, and Mary Costa.
Wow.
And it's so
Wow.
good. And I've still got it. It was through Viacom, which is CBS.
I would love to see that.
Well, she told me never let anybody else see it.
Well, next time we meet for my retirement plan, you need to
How about I bring it for you?
Okay.
But Mary gets up and sings Ebo Walker, which was a Dillard song, and she does it barefooted, I think. She's so sweet.
Oh,
But
amazing.
She was at a festival one time, and we was all sitting there kindly, and this guy, he was a pretty good entertainer, but didn't know who she was. And she's sitting there, and he looked over and said, "What do you do? Do you sing or something?"
Oh, man, does she sing?
Well,
She said, "Well, I'm just here."
I wish I could sing. I'm not gifted with that.
At my day, sang good.
Yes, she could.
Yeah, we played shows with her.
Me and her want to sing.
We did
David never let us on the show to sing.
There's a reason.
I know.
Oh, and the big monument for the 4th of July, we got to do that in 1982.
Oh, did you
For
really?
1 million people.
Oh, man.
Did you ever see Margie sing or hear her sing?
No.
Oh, she's a great singer. wasn't she?
great.
Yeah.
I had no
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, she left and Luke big for her, and yeah, she.
Do you
was
know
great.
Ray Rose?
Oh, Lord. We've had him out here a
He
number
was
of
out here
times.
last July.
Ray's been there forever.
We played music with Ray
I-
forever.
I
David
just
more than me.
texted with him yesterday. Yeah, he's amazing. He's
Just see,
amazing.
we done the Bonnie and Buster show for years there at ATE.
Okay.
We started out at Channel 10, and we worked, I guess, 2 years.
Yeah.
I was amazed that we done the rest of the years at ATE.
Did you? So you know Dolly
Well, yeah, not
pretty
really
well.
good,
Okay. She was one of my first interviews when I got
Yeah.
here.
Was she?
You know, I've-
When she was here, I was on Bonnie and Buster. So, but we still.
Yeah. So
worked
you
together.
didn't do that. part
I've
of the
never had the
show.
opportunity to meet Dolly. With everybody we've met, with Merle and all the other stations, that's somebody that never crossed paths with.
But she
Dan
likes
Bell.
Garth Brooks. She likes Garth Brooks.
I know,
Garth.
I know Garth
Oh
well
man,
enough. But
I went to his show in Houston back in the day, and just a fan for life. Unbelievable.
I've said this before. If he's not one of the kindest people I've ever met, he's one of the best actors I've ever met. When he came out of retirement and did his tour, he was going to do. We knew he was going to do at least 4 nights at Thompson Bowling, but we weren't allowed to tell because he called, or he had his management call and asked Merle to be the welcome station. I don't know what had happened, what had transpired with the other station, but something had, and he wanted us to do it. And so they asked us if we do it. Of course, we're gung-ho to do it. Of course. And they told us, they said, now he's going to call, interview. We're planning on doing this many days, but don't say anything. So he would call and say, if we're going to sell this out, or there's a problem with the tickets, but we're going to get it fixed. Just creating a big buzz, and then it would sell, and they'd call the next day and announce, hey, we're going to add a day. So I got to talk to him on the phone like for 4 or 5 days.
Wow.
As tickets were coming up. And so I was sitting here, and I was going to go on his Saturday show and planned. And I'm just sitting here doing whatever I was doing. And they came in and they said, hey, Ron, there's somebody on the phone for you from, they named whatever his management company was. I recognized the name. They said, are you going to come to the show? And I said, yeah, we're going to come tomorrow. And they said, well, are you available today? And I said, what? And they said, well, Garth would like to meet you. And I said, me? I said, yeah. So they sent a car over, and
Oh my goodness.
and we were late. We were supposed to be there at 6. And I can't remember what happened, the driver or whatever. And we didn't get there till the opening act was playing when we got there. And the guy was like, don't worry, he's going to wait on you. And I was like, well, they're already starting the show. He said, no, don't worry, he'll be okay. So they took us straight back, him and Tricia. And we sat back there. I can't even remember who was opening. I mean, I was so like, blown away. Sit there and talk to him for, I don't know how long it was, but it was long enough that I said, aren't you supposed to go on? And he said, it's all right, Ron. They'll wait on me a little bit. I won't keep them waiting too long, but they're wait. But
I love to hear when people we admire so much are genuinely nice people.
it was amazing, and he knew about the radio station and knew some of the history of us building it. And then when he came back at Thompson Bowling, he called us and invited us to it was a sound check, they called it, but they brought up a lot of us in and let us watch them sound check. He did a little mini show for us.
That is so cool.
It was. I've like I said, when I met him, I was I don't get starstruck. I've been in this business a long time.
But you admire that talent.
Well, I got starstruck.
Yeah,
It was the first time that I can remember. I was just like, hi. You know?
Well, he's just over the top. So good.
Yeah.
That's what a great story.
When we walked into meeting,
the fact that he remembered.
Oh yeah, no, when he was back at Thompson Bowl and they invited us to come, me and my cameraman were standing there talking. He walked up and he goes, "Ron, you clean up well." I had on a jacket and some stuff. And I was so impressed. He walked off and I said, he knew my name. Mike said he's good at that. He knew Mike, of course. Everybody
Love Mike Hammond.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But
he's here in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, that's right. Mike's coming. Mike worked over at Merle for, gosh, he did weekends for us for a long time. Till he I can't remember when he got running for office.
Yeah.
He stopped doing it.
Had to back off from that.
And of course, Jack still works at Merle, his son.
Yes, and he's great.
Yes.
Those shows won't be nearly as good as this.
Mike.
It's downhill from here.
Mike helped me get my daughter. I had to work, and this is years ago, Pretty Little Liars. What was her name? The girl that... I know you don't watch Pretty Little Liars.
No,
or didn't
neither.
Day.
Was they on Mayberry?
Lucy Hale. Was her
Okay.
name. And she was just a big bright star at the time, and my daughter just loved her. My daughter was a lot younger, and I called Mike. I said, what can I do to help get her to meet her when she comes?
Yeah.
He said, well, she can be my date. She'll come with all of our kids, and I'll make sure she gets to meet her. And she got to and got her picture with her.
That's cool.
So he didn't have to do that.
No.
You know, he's a great guy.
He is.
So
Definitely.
when you go out, you talk about big stars and stuff like that. You used to wear a ball cap, sunglasses, and stuff like that. I know. You do. You do when you go out, but do you? I mean,
when I go to the grocery store,
but when you
just because I'm too lazy to get all gussied up.
But I'll say this: everybody I know of that's ever met you, you've never slighted anybody.
Oh,
that I know of. And
I would hope I would never do that.
Well,
I mean, it's an honor for somebody to come up.
Absolutely.
And granted, when I have my ball cap on, that's usually when it happens.
Yeah.
But I love meeting people, and you know, I think there was one person I met who said, well, we saw you at West Town Mall and you didn't say anything. And I said, was I with my kids and was I chasing them? And they're like, yeah, you looked like you were in a hurry. I said, that probably was what it was. So, but I love people, and that's, you all do too. That's why we do what we do.
not really.
You know?
Not really.
You know?
I think the key to all of our successes in our business is to be real. You know what I mean? To be.
Yeah, I can't stand.
You have good days and bad days.
To be somebody they're not.
Oh, I know. Imitators.
Imitator, who are you?
I've done okay doing that, Lori. I made pretty good.
Do you know, my mother embarrassed my dad so badly at Disneyland in Anaheim when we went, and Don Knotts was there.
Oh wow.
My mother goes up, I told you she was dramatic, and planted a kiss on his head.
Oh, he loved it, I'm sure.
Oh, he did not like it. And he went, hi. She goes, oh, okay, good. Nice to see you. We just kind of went on our way.
What a jerk.
My dad
What
went,
a jerk.
Well, I mean,
I was going to
no
tell this story about
preamble.
when I got to meet him, what an idiot I was. I didn't do this, but I did this. I got up to him and I go, God bless you, Mr. Knotts. I patted him on the shoulder and I said, can I get a picture with you and will you sign this? He was like, yeah, sure. He was nice.
I mean, he wasn't unkind.
Sounds like he was a jerk.
I was a kid.
I'm gonna be
well,
honest,
but if
Lori.
somebody comes and plants a kiss on
You
your
just
head,
grab your kid.
Depending on what they look like. I like my bald
she
head
was
kissed.
beautiful. My dad just said, come on.
Mr. Davis, he was
Yeah.
a kind man.
He was a kind man. And thank you for his prayers. I know he still appreciates them.
Well, he needed the prayers and I needed the practice. Good deal.
Worked out for everybody.
Yeah. So did you ever meet Mike Thurman? Did you hear stories of Mike Thurman?
I did not meet Mike Thurman.
Have you ever heard
and
stories
this
of-
sounds really weird. I went to his funeral. I didn't know him because people spoke so highly of him, and a big group said, you've got to go. You've got to go. Maybe I met him in passing, but I just heard people loved him.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
And my husband had known him a little bit. So I felt like I needed to go. And I just felt sad that I never got to know him and wasn't here when, long enough to know him.
Do you remember the first time we met? We was at a funeral.
Was it a funeral?
John England's funeral.
John England's funeral. That's right. John England was a dear,
went to
dear
church
man.
With John England. He was
Pardon me. Water bottle drop.
Executive director. What was he? Producer sometime. He was an engineer.
He was an engineer and a very good engineer, and always very calm.
Oh, he's a great guy.
Couldn't ruffle his feathers. He was great.
So he was a ham radio operator.
Okay.
So I heard the guy talking earlier about CB radios and all of those things on trading time. So before this show, they do trading time.
Okay.
Still a treasure.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So hey, do you care to tell him about Steve? Or tell him what he does? I think it's, I think it's fascinating. I mean, you ought to brag on him. He's a great guy.
I'm so proud of him.
Yeah,
I am so proud of him.
This is your husband.
My husband, Steve, is, I'm biased, but he is the best video camera guy in the world.
Yeah.
And he works for ESPN, and he's in demand. So he does the U.S. Open. He's gotten to know Serena,
Cool.
And he's so humble. He won't brag about it, but he's at Special Olympics right now in Minnesota.
That's
shooting
cool.
that national. So he does a ton of national broadcasts. He does the PGA, you name it, he's there. And he travels a lot. And you've asked him, are you going to retire? And he's like, he just says, I'm just going to fade to black. Not going to say the word retire, because he's in a great position where he can accept
He
what
can
he
pick
wants
and
to
choose.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was at Scripps with Home and Garden Television for 20 years, and he was in charge of music and all the production and all of that, and he really enjoyed that, and that was great while the girls were growing up. So we had a good, stable thing. But now, I mean, he's been doing this for the last probably 10 years. Started out as a photographer. And I think that's what he truly loves.
Well,
and it makes him happy. And it's so great to see him doing what he loves. And I think it keeps him young, too. I mean, he works hard. And running up and down the football field, he's had a concussion before.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, they had to stop the game. He got run over by a former NFL player turned ref. And Steve's shooting this way. And the ref, for whatever reason, is running backwards this way. So even though the action is over here, we don't know what, but he never knew what hit him. And he was out, and they had to stop the game.
So what's interesting about Steve is a lot of stuff we see on TV, it could be stuff he's shooting. If you're watching ESPN, it could be Steve's stuff.
And I know what he shoots. I know how he shoots. So
can you tell? Is there a distinctive?
I can tell. And it's hard to put into words, but say you're watching a touchdown getting ready to happen. I know there's this little move he does where he just wants you to feel like you're right there with him.
Really?
And so that's hard to do because you got to keep it in focus.
Yeah.
You got to keep moving, and he's just right there with it.
Well, nowadays they've got the cameramen out on the field like baseball. They're running the bases, and the guys with the camera.
Yeah.
I don't see how they don't get hurt.
Beamed. Yeah, hit with the ball.
A lot of them do. But, you just have to have your head on a swivel. So that's why I tell them, have that head on a swivel.
So when you go to closing the news and stuff, they always have, what's a grip? I've always wondered, what's a grip? I thought it was a gripe. I'm just a gripe.
Now, a grip...
You see those things rolling of all the things behind the scenes, like the cameramans and different things, and I see that.
Well, a grip is what Steve would use. We don't really have grips, but... unless we take an intern along who can help out. But a grip in our industry is he needs to have someone keep the lines, the cables straight. And if he trips, that grip is in trouble. So
I didn't know. I was just a dumb question.
No, there's no such thing as a dumb question.
I just wanted to fit in, Lori. Harold, you got anything?
Now, what were you talking about? Like in the studio?
No, when you're watching it on television. So you don't fade to black, but y'all are talking. So that was the other question I wanted to ask was when the news is over. Yeah. And they always leave the anchor stand there. What are y'all really saying to each other? Well, this was a terrible show, wasn't it?
Sometimes. Sometimes. Or they can read lips. So we love it because we're counted down in our earpiece. 30 seconds, 20, or sometimes we're too busy talking and we don't hear it, or we choose not to hear it. And we may say goodnight and there's still 30 seconds to go, and that's death. You don't ever want to do that. I mean, that's free time that you're wasting.
Sure,
so,
absolutely.
We try not to do that, but it's interesting. I've had to learn new things, which I love, but there's one thing I don't really enjoy. There's only one thing about this wonderful career: doing traffic.
Really?
I don't enjoy doing traffic because I am a GPS kind of gal.
Oh, yeah.
And I only do it once at 5 o'clock, and I always pray there's nothing major going on. I know how to build traffic. I have to go to the computer, pull up the T-Dot SmartWay cameras. I can tell, but I don't know where the cameras are. Are they facing east or west?
Gotcha.
And it looks backwards on TV. So I just try to wing it as best I can.
So if you weren't a news anchor, what other career would you have done?
That's a tough one because I cannot imagine. Possibly a teacher, possibly something in the healthcare field. But I love books. I love, reading. I love maybe a librarian. I miss the Dewey Decimal System being taught. So I'm old school. And my 9-year-old granddaughter knows it because she goes to a certain school that is very good. You're very familiar with it.
I know.
An incredibly smart girl.
She's going to do all right.
9 years old, reading at 6th grade level, and she's going into the 4th grade. So,
So
little humble brag from the grandmother
There you
here.
go.
So you was talking about alliteration and how you're real a stickler on English and stuff. So my one of my sons, we've got 4 sons. So Peyton come to us a few years ago and said he believed the Lord was calling him to be a school teacher. And so so sweet. And I said, so really, you think I said, what are you going to teach? He said, Dad, I'm going to teach high school English. And I said, honey, we can't even form a sentence. But he has gotten all
Way to support him.
He's fantastic. He's been out here. He was at Clinton 2 years high school. He's now at Carter High School. He's teaching summer school now.
I
That's
love
his
that.
calling. That's his calling.
See, it
He's
is a
good at it.
calling.
But
It's a
he's the one
calling.
that corrects me all the time. He said, Dad, it's not how you say that. And so he's in timeout. He's 30 years old, but he's in timeout right now. So I'll got one other thing I want to ask you.
Yes.
What's your worst interview you ever done?
Oh, my goodness.
The worst one. You got to have one.
Well, I'm not going to name names.
Oh, name names.
No, I'm not going to name names. I already went on out on a limb with the Gilly thing, but that's well known. That's well known and established. So that's nothing. What's hard is when we have live interviews sometimes on our 3 o'clock newscast, and they're 3 minutes long, and
which is an eternity in broadcasting.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
A lot of people don't realize that.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly, you do.
Yeah.
Everybody in this room. But we'll have someone come in who's never been on TV before. That's not their fault. All we want is information.
Sure.
And you can tell when the lip is quivering and they're just a nervous wreck. And I want people to have fun. Usually what we're doing, it's not an ambush interview. This is something going on in the community. But when you get a yes.
And that's
no.
Yeah.
When is the event? Tomorrow? Oh, can you tell us where? At the whatever. Yeah. And I've still got 2 minutes and 45 seconds to film. So that's difficult. And I know you've been in that position.
Yeah, absolutely.
So those are the tough ones. As far as...
if you ply them with alcohol, it works better.
Oh, my
just letting you know.
Oh, my goodness. Well, where's that pumpkin? Yeah, we'll call on old Kaz Walker's.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, that's so tough. That's so tough. But in terms of anybody well-known or anything like that, I've never made anyone upset enough to walk off from an interview. My whole goal is, hey, I'm just here doing my job. I know you have a job to do as well.
Sure.
And there may be some uncomfortable questions. As a journalist, I refuse to give questions in advance. Some people want to have the questions. I've lost interviews that way before, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
That's not it's not real, and it's really not fair, because they can prepare an answer that may or may not be true or
correct.
Yeah.
And plus, you don't want it to be so panned
Staged.
because they've gone over it so much that you lose that that real life moment. So that spontaneity. So I don't do that. We were talking about English and grammar, and we just had one this week, and it was on that awful crash on North Broadway. And I kept seeing the line, the deadly crash that killed 3 people. I said, well, it's either the deadly crash or the crash that killed 3 people, because you're already saying it's deadly, you know? So that's how nitpicky I can get. But it's important.
Did they change it?
I changed it. So, you know, that's just how it goes. I am a stickler. I really am. I know. I don't think he likes that very much.
I thank God for spell check. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So before I do at Concord, where we go to church, I have PowerPoints that I put up for my presentations that are on there, and I have to do spell check on. So before that, I have a whiteboard. So I don't know. I don't want to take up much time, but I write stuff on there, and I'm terrible at it. So and I pronounce them wrong. I'll get one day. I put up that God is omnipotent, and I said God is omnipotent.
No, you did not.
I did.
But you were doing it to be funny.
No, I was not being trying to be funny. That was not funny to me. God is omnipotent, but I'm saying God is omnipotent.
Jesus Pinata.
There it works.
He knows. He knows my heart, Lord.
He does.
And he knows it. And he shakes his head at me all the time.
That's his dictionary word.
He has a sense of humor.
Yeah.
We know that.
And when I quote the Bible, I usually get the word I don't understand. I say hard word.
And move along.
Yeah. Now you got a broadcast today at what time?
3:00.
Okay. So can we get some pictures before you leave?
I would love that. This has been fun.
Yeah. Technical issues. I said you had bloopers and things like that. Technical issues. You ever had some that?
Are you kidding?
Yeah, I'd say that's a nightmare.
I saw it.
We was out here one year. You weren't here one week, and Jim was in here, and the board went out on us. We was doing a thing, and.
You name it, it's happened.
Yeah.
Well, and now with computers, I say now, we've had them forever, but we have no paper anymore, obviously.
Yeah, we depend on if it goes, everything goes.
It goes.
Yeah.
And we do have an iPad on the desk, and we now operate our own teleprompter.
Oh, really?
Yes. And that has been something to get used to. It's a foot operated, and then we have a handheld as well for when we stand, because we don't just sit behind the desk. You know, we move all over the set, which is great. But it's a great way for storytelling to be able to show things. But yeah, if I get into something, Bo will be like, slow down, because the prompter will be going nuts. Yeah. So anyway.
How many people watching and listening right now thinks has ever wanted to call into Don Dare?
Well, if you do, stand in line, because I think there's a wait list. Yeah. He is so busy. The women's dressing room is right by his office, and I can hear him on the phone. The phone rings constantly. Yeah. Constantly. And he is such a gentleman and is so kind and patient with people. But yeah, he's a busy man. But give him a call. You never know.
You never know.
I'll let you wrap it up, Don.
Don Knotts.
Okay, you're going to let me wrap it. Well, I'll tell you what. There's something that I'd like to throw in before we go. You're speaking of Arkansas. Mm-hmm. I got to introduce Bill Clinton one time.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I just throwed it in. If you don't like it, you can throw it back.
No, I love it. I love it. I tell you what, he was very accessible.
Yeah.
I learned
he was very nice.
What the people who are in office know how to get. I see you when they know how to make sure they're accessible to the media, and the media appreciates that. So,
Lori, you're a pretty lady, so yes, you were accessible.
No, it wasn't. No, stop.
No.
So bad.
So you're from Arkansas. So let me ask you: 30-some years you've been here. Mm-hmm. You a Tennessee fan or still an Arkansas fan?
I'm married into the Tennessee tradition. And both of our daughters graduated from the University of Tennessee. My husband graduated from the University of Tennessee. So I am
die hard,
all the way.
I got Coach Fulmer coming out here in a few weeks.
Oh, so, he's great.
Yes, he's hot.
David, you got anything before we call it a day?
No, we're going to have to call it a day. I want to tell everybody we got a big shipment of these books in now.
There you go.
Just come in about 2 weeks ago. We've been out of them. People is wanting them. They're $20. Because I tell you, get them at Sodaville Music Store. And we got a big shipment of Martin guitars in. And, of course, you know it's the biggest drum store in the state of Tennessee. But we want all of you to come out and look at all the stuff we have. And we want to thank everybody for listening to this show. This has got a big variety of what I go into the courthouse a lot of times and they say, listen to that show.
Usually you go in the courthouse, you can hear it. It's usually playing about every office in the courthouse.
Oh, my goodness.
Especially if we're doing politics.
Get a lot of history out of this show here. Boy, we're so glad to have you today.
Thank you so much. It's an honor.
And every week you got off, just come on back.
I'll do it.
She's retiring in October. She'll be here. She's looking for something to do.
You know, we like to close with a good saying. Where you get, Barney?
Well, my favorite saying, my life verse there in Proverbs 17:22, a merry heart or laughter doeth good like a medicine.
Okay.
I love that.
What do you have to say?
Yeah, top that. Yeah, go ahead, big girl.
Oh,
Come on.
I just want to thank everybody for listening. And if I don't get a chance, I know I'll have a message for you on October 16th when I retire, but this community has been so good to me, so very good to me all these years, all over the different counties. I feel so close to so many of you, especially those who help children, who help families, who make a difference every day, and people have no idea. You know, so I love all of you unsung heroes out there, and I just appreciate you, and thank you all for having me here today. And this guy's pretty good.
He ain't bad.
He's become a good friend.
He'll do in a pinch, won't he?
You know, he's a blessing.
She's real, so if you ever get to meet her out, she's real. She's a super sweet lady.
No.
Okay, we'll go off with one last thing.
All right.
I think I'll go with Kaz Walker. Mr. Walker would say, now, you be good to the Lord, and the Lord will be good to you.
There it is.
Thank you for listening to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Make sure you tune in at 10 a.m. each day, Monday through Friday, right here on AM 1380 WYSH and BBB TV 12. Or listen live online at WYSHradio.com. And remember, if you have a question, comment, or problem, tomorrow and Ask Your Neighbor. Or email from our website,